street sweeper to clean up the street. Cool like a cruise, your new shoes on the feet. Boy, what's your tone when you talking to me? Lot of Daytona like Miami Heat. Made me an M for the end of the week. Close to me and you head up the fleet. I make a killing, I rap on the beat. My car therapeutic, massaging the seats. All of the hating that made me a beast. We with the latest, no top on the V. News who told me back it cost a cool quarter. Get rich and don't go broke, and that is an order. Might need me a speedball, I got all this water. Might take me a free go, I go cross the border. She came with a D throwing well on the swallow. My niggas is lethal and we all immortal. Might go back to Polo and ride all these horses. I spent 50,000 on all white Air Forces. I made like 5 million, that's just on endorsement. No way, I'ma start this recording. On Alice sedated and floating like Jordan. These checks steady clear, and no way to void. My jeans about 50, but this drip worth a fortune. No nigga I fear, I ain't go for extortion. Hop on the lead at the clip, what I bought it. Blood, sweat, and tears, I work at my orders. Diamond shaped pairs, my necklace retarded. Catch too many stairs, you become a target. Punch don't out they care, don't wanna be hard. Big step no stairs and lead like a faucet. At least a whole M inside of my closet. We ballin' no gym, they must thought I lost it. Bought the street sweeper to clean up the street. Cool like a cruise, your new shoes on the feet. Boy, what's your tone when you talking to me? Lot of Daytona like Miami Heat. Made me an M for the end of the week. Close to me and you head up the fleet. I make a killing, I rap on the beat. My car therapeutic, massaging the seats. All of the hating that made me a beast. We with the latest, no top on the beat. News who told me back it cost a cool quarter. Get rich and don't go broke, and that is an order. Might need me a speedball, I got all this water. Might take me a free go, I go cross the border. She came with a D throwing well on the swallow. My niggas is lethal and we all immortal.
Some more drugs, now that I'm up, now that I'm stuck. Ain't no more love, carries on my ear, but I could've bought a truck. I had to cook the dope up on a Sunday. Sold it so quick, had to re-up on Monday. Yeah, scrap with that Uzi, got money on money. High price pussy, you can keep the receipt. Ran up an M, now I'm going for a ran up. Bought a street sweeper, I'm sweeping the streets. Chrome heart skinny, but the pockets on beat. Charge 1 M, cause the talk ain't cheap. Cocaine white, put my wrist on fleek. The road that Daytona got Miami. All of that EV, it made me a beast. Look at my Audemars dripping in water. Get rich, yeah, that is an order. Get it one time, they gon' Google your name. Thermals on Cardis and chrome heart frames. Dash in the coupe at the
What's good? What's good, chat? How we doing? 10-4s? 10-4s. Let me know we're straight. Let me know we're straight. We're locked in. I got to pick a waiting room song, too. 100%. 100%, you know I got to be locked in right there. Got to be locked in. You have the general, or I guess whatever music we have for BTL and Surge sometimes, too. Got to keep it different. Switch it up. There we go. 10-4 Rizzies. Huge. Huge, 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 huge. First thing I see is hand me the frogs. Not going to lie to you, man. I was so dead set on fading TCU until I saw the line continue to creep up throughout the week because they have no business laying almost a touchdown in Ames in a night game. But Vegas knows something with that game. W guards out. Let's go. Kyle, what's good? Alex, what's good? Thrasher, what's good? Fat Girls, Howitzers, Pat, let's go. Let's go. Sleep is for the weak. Absolutely. We got to get up early. We got college football games to lab. We got to get right, man. We got to get right. 100% up bright and early. And yeah, that line keeps moving to Oklahoma. If you like them at 6.5, like Texas at 6.5, I have a deal for you. We're seeing a couple 4.5s pop up now on some books. You see they're laying 5 here in the book we got on the screen. Interesting. Quick MLB milk. Something I really love today, or have had that much time to lab. I'm still sticking to the guns that the Dodgers are going to absolutely destroy. Not really because it's just Merrill Kelly, who they always destroy, but in that series, I think they destroyed the D-backs. Some people really aren't tapped. Kind of like Maryland to cover. Yeah, I like Ohio State, but we'll see. If they break the streak of the fraudulent Maryland team getting thrashed by by Ohio State every time they go in fat and happy, I'll pay to find out. I will pay to find out. And yeah, Arkansas line has definitely moved against them, and I'm really not all that concerned yet. I'm still going with it. W Morning Lab, let's go. Luther Burden receiving yards. Some people are still not tapped. Yeah, I mean, his line has gotten ridiculously fat. I mean, what is it? 109, almost 110. I guess I can pull it up here. Which, I mean, I'm on Brady Cook, so I mean, it pretty much coincides. Brady Cook is probably one of my favorite squares of the college football weekend, which is actually, I've seen it a couple places more than I would honestly like to see. So we'll see. Hopefully we don't get bit in the ass there. I like Brady Cook a lot to tear up this LSU secondary. And then, yeah, Luther Burden, 109.5. Good God. I remember K-State game, I believe. I took him and it was like 78.5, and he's been creeping up ever since then. That's just so fat. So fat. Oh, we got a bookie bankruptcy max on the first half under. Shit. And yeah, LSU defense is god awful. This game is probably going to have a lot of points. Trap side of Wazoo UCLA is actually UCLA. I kind of would have agreed if I've seen people betting UCLA, but I haven't seen any. I've seen the fact that it's fake sharp actually more times than I've seen people taking them. So I don't know. I'm still going to find my coins on UCLA, especially on some of the prize pick squares we'll talk about in a second. Yeah, taking him ever since K-State. He's a wagon, dude. He's a wagon. He's played shit defenses, which has also helped, but he is absolutely locked. Absolutely locked. Wazoo's going to ruin that FD-lay. Yeah, kind of agree. It's just that looks like one of the easier plays on the board, if not the easiest play on the board this weekend, Washington State. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm a big Wazoo fan and a big UCLA hater, and even I'm going to have my coins on UCLA in that game. Very biased, but you don't think FSU beats VT by 24. Yeah, that seems like a sneaky spot for Virginia Tech, honestly, especially because I haven't seen much consistency from the rushing attack of Florida State. And let me see what his lines are at here. Let's tap in. Trey Benson is a guy that if he got consistent carries in the backfield, I would absolutely demolish this prop. But he just doesn't. That's the issue here. The carry inconsistency in these games, which realistically you should be getting plenty more, not just in the Clemson game, but in the Boston College game, especially when they needed him there. Even in these games like Southern Miss, where you really just want him to kill clock and get in there. I know they want to rotate guys in, but there's just no consistency there. So, that's how you beat Virginia Tech with a lot of ground and pound because they have one of the worst rush defenses in college football. I don't know if I can trust FSU to do that for 4 quarters. So I'm kind of with you there. Taj going for 200 yards. Absolutely, dude. We'll talk about that in a second. Thoughts on the Oregon State line, dude? So everybody I think in here knows how I feel about Cal this season. I had zero intention of betting Cal in this game. Zero intention. Absolutely none. Because if you look on paper, Oregon State's going to stop the run. If Cal can't run the football, there is no shot in hell they should be even remotely close in this game. But then you look and they go 9.5 to 7.5 some places now. Most places, I guess you could say. That is honestly, that's the weirdest line move on the board that I've seen, which is it's very exciting to see. But one of the reasons I did take Cal over win total, because a lot of it was kind of banking on upsets. This is a sleepy game at home after a massive win that Oregon State had in front of everybody on national television. So I'm hoping it's the spot. Graham Mertz over pass yards, yes, I do, but with a caveat. That's not one that I'm going to spray in a lot of entries, only because I think they destroy Vanderbilt in this game. I think they win by 4 touchdowns-ish. So, I'm going to be playing Florida ever so slightly, but the garbage time kind of gives me a little concern there. BOS point duo like Boston College. I'm rooting for them. Tell you that much. I hate taking BC as an underdog, though. I hate doing it. First week, you didn't hear about Colorado. Absolutely. It feels great. And after they potentially lose today, you might not hear any more of them either. Yeah, and I don't like to see the boost. It's not a massive book. It's not an FD boost or DK boost, so I'm not shivering yet, but I still do like Ohio State. Still do like it. Georgia Kentucky under. I think if you want to play Georgia Kentucky under, you just take Kentucky's team total under because I think Georgia's going to score in this game. And yeah, this is a nice little early 2-piece gob. I like that. Yeah, heavy line for FSU. I agree. 50 going to that game and Cal will hammer them. We know that. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'll probably be over there too. So maybe I can get him to sprinkle Oregon State for us. Love Florida first half -10. I like that, Deej. I like that. Does Dylan Gabriel throw an INT? Yeah, probably. It's probably up there for a reason, but I do think they're going to challenge them down the field really the entire game. So that's going to come with his It's challenges. I'll say that. Toledo, Georgia over and Ohio State over. Love it, love it. Michigan, Minnesota. Don't really have real thoughts there. I mean, Minnesota shouldn't be able to score. I think Michigan, if you're talking about a total, can probably get close themselves, so it's kind of tough. And no, I actually really like Navy in this game. Which, to be honest with you, I was talking with the Jen after we were on BTL talking about this. I don't know whether it's I like Navy better or the over, because like a lot of it hinges on Navy. Like this is, for anybody who heard me talk about it, this is a historically bad North Texas rush defense, and not that Navy's been the Navy of past years where they're super efficient. But at the end of the day, it's the triple option offense still. I know they're incorporating the pass game a little more. It's a little different kind of scheme there, but I don't see a world where North Texas stops them in the run game. So, I mean, the tough thing with the over, like I do think they're going to be explosive, and obviously I'm still playing the over. That is my over. But if you want to play Navy too, it's not a bad look there. Not a bad look. And yeah, 20 units on Texas is crazy. So crazy. Wyoming QB under rush yards. Tell me what you like about that. OU Texas game, obviously on Oklahoma. There's three look ahead spots ATS that I told myself before the season when I was breaking down a lot of these teams that I have investments in that I was taking ahead of time. It was Cal plus the points at home against Auburn, which hit week 2. Oklahoma plus the points against Texas, and then Notre Dame probably ML because they might be favored in that game at home against USC. So that's sticking to the guns. Kansas UCF will get into that game. Chandler Morris, yeah, I don't know how I want to back him. Because again, like it's an Iowa State defense that I think is going to struggle a little bit. And when you look at the line in the game, it's pretty interesting. So maybe it's just a little running game for TCU today. And yes, definitely sign up on WarPick. Is it Mookie or Freddie today? I can't say I've looked at any PP squares or props for these MLB games. PP squares in Texas OU. Oh, that's why the line's creeping back. That's kind of a big hit. That's not good. But yeah, we can talk about PP squares for Texas OU real quick. So I mean, on the Texas side, I don't know why people think Oklahoma's run defense is as bad as it is, which I don't think they're stopping Jonathan Brooks, which is why I'm bringing it up. But people are acting like this is one of the worst rush defenses in college football, which is just not even close. But if you do want to play Jonathan Brooks, I don't see an issue with that, especially because I do think that secondary is going to be tough at times against Quinn Ewers in the pass game. And I think you're going to get a good bit of pressure on them. This is one of the better pass rushes in college football right now as well. So Jonathan Brooks, they're going to have to lean on him. So I don't hate that angle in the slightest. So I lean him. I lean a little Quinn Ewers under pass yards as well. I think that's a pretty solid play there. But, I mean, more so on Oklahoma, obviously, I would love to back a couple more of those squares. Instead, I don't think you can go wrong with too many here. I do think he's throwing a pick. So I don't think that's a terrible square there. I do think he's going to sling the ball. So I mean, his overpassing yards is great as well. If I had to pick one, I would honestly, I guess the two wide receivers, if I'm taking Farouk, I'm taking his receptions. That would be what I would do. But Andrell Anthony is absolutely that guy. He's the guy. If they need to win this game or they're going to win this game, he's going to have a massive day. So, I mean, he is arguably the favorite target. He's coming off a little bit of a dud against Iowa State, partially because the scheme kind of took him out of the game a bit. And I guess the lead halfway the second half of the game. So I think he's going to bounce back and have a pretty big game today. So that would probably be my favorite little couple there for this game. What are we saying in the chats? Mountain West, we can talk about in a bit. Take Ohio State wide receivers. Yeah, you might have to now. You just might have to now. And I do like the under. I think these defenses are a lot better than people think, especially Oklahoma's. Been hearing about how they're ridiculous defensively and a joke like they were for the last couple seasons, especially last year with Venables in his first season. But realistically, if you look at all the advanced numbers, they're ranked higher than Texas and about 75% of them. So we're going to see very quickly. I do think Texas, too. The sneaky thing about Texas and their defense, as good as it may look on paper, which part of it is that they've faced a bunch of backup quarterbacks, they have the most explosive plays allowed in the secondary in all of college football. So We were talking about what this man on the screen is about to do to their secondary once they sit back and cover 4, cover 3. It's about to get ugly for him. It's about to get ugly. Say, man, Dylan Gabriel, if he hits a couple of those, he's going to be soaring over this line. Going to be soaring. Andre going to have a huge game. Huge. Bet online showing 4.5. Let's go. Let's go. Dodgers minus 1.5. Yeah, I think this score. I'm so unsure. The one thing, like, I'm not betting on this game one individually because Kershaw is coming back and he's going to be limited on some sort of pitch count. So I don't really know. I don't want to back that. I think there's a little bit too much of the unknown there. Yes, the Dodgers bullpen has been absolutely elite last month of the season. D-backs randomly picked it up as well, but yeah, it's a little too much for me there. But yeah, I'm laying the series spread. That's what I did. I know you can't do that, but it's all that I did. Texas is a mortgage play. I bet. Cook, Daniels, Gabriel, Cousins, Mahomes. I mean, shit, that just might hit. That just might hit. You know how I feel about Cook and Kirk. Cook and Kirk, whale. He should get in the end zone against Baylor. It's not I don't mind that. Somebody asked about rushing TDs. I can tap into that. Yeah, hotel narrative is also public. Yeah, so I mean, we can talk about Tosh for a second. I mean, Baylor's run defense has been absolutely horrific. And that's a reason why, I guess, not even if I haven't even put together a cheat sheet for a couple of weeks before now, you can guarantee I have some form of running back in the other backfield going up against Baylor in slips really anytime. I really don't hate anything to do with Taj Brooks. If you want him getting in the end zone as part of it and you're going to play that on Prize Picks, the fantasy score is not a bad idea. But, I mean, this line is so high for an aerial attack team. And Taj Brooks has been fantastic, so it's not out of the conversation for him to get a line like this. It's not like it's a weird line or anything. They're strangely high. But against this Baylor team, man, they are so bad and hurt defensively. So it's just, I don't know what to do there. I do think Baron Morton has a pretty solid game too, which is the one thing that's giving me hesitation about relying on Tosh to score, because that secondary is also super banged up and bad. So like Baron Morton was pretty impressive last week. I can't say he had to do like all that much because a lot of it was in the run game, especially in the second half when they got up big. But, you know, the West Virginia game was painful to watch. I'm not a Texas Tech fan or Baron Morton guy, but he was not good in that game, to say the least. Really good defense for West Virginia, underrated defense. But against Houston, much worse defense and much more comparable to what he's going to see with Baylor today. He looked a lot better. What team sends bookies to Dubai today? It might be Texas, bro. It might be Texas. I understand the whole argument for Oklahoma because they have played Arkansas State, who is one of the worst teams in all of Division One, probably the worst team in Division One, but Tulsa is also down there as well. But again, like everybody's talking about the defenses, like they're not exactly comparable. And like Texas hasn't played backup quarterbacks in 4 of their games. It's like that was what everybody shot on TCU last year for doing because they ran into a couple injuries and that was what made them fraudulent. But you know, people are buying into Texas for it. So we'll see. You got Texas fans aligned all with the biggest bets of their lives on Texas spread, which is continuing to move the opposite way. So do what you will. With that information. PB squares at Arkansas Miss. We will surely get to that. And yes, I do like that over, Marty, 100%. And yes, I would. It's so tough to kind of figure out what to do with Navy because there are 6 players that you can go to and take the rushing prop. I could see them all going over. It's absolutely ridiculous what they're going to do in North Texas today. Their favorite college prop. We'll get to those. We're going to have like a free craft session or full craft session in seconds. Be nasty. What's good? Posting entire slate picks. I don't know. I just don't have as much time. That's why I do what I do now more so. I'm a very late. You're going to see me putting in a bunch of plays and deciding on them right before it starts. It's at that time I never have time to get a graphic, which I don't know. It's whatever. Kicking points have been air. Yeah, kicking points in college. If you can pick the right ones, are huge. And yeah, it's kind of what I feel too. And what's good, Paddle Watt? I don't want to square up as much and take Bama, but everybody's on A&M. Like, it's in the line. I mean, it got down to 1. I don't know if that was because of the Jalen Milrose like rumor that he was hurt, and the line got down, and then that got quickly disbanded a little bit. And then the line went back up to 2.5. I don't know. I kind of believe in Bama in the sense that they're using Milroe in a way that's more comfortable for him. He's looked better in that offense second stint around when he was a starter because they've used more designed run plays. It's opening up the pass. He looks more comfortable as a passer. The play calling is much improved, which I still think they have a good ways to go with Jalen Milroe. I'm not going to sit up here and act like he's the quarterback for them. That's going to change everything, and that he's playing at a level that is incredible now, because that's simply not the case, but it looks better. The offensive line is also seriously improved since they adjusted the play calling, which is a big issue because Jalen Milroe under pressure, not fantastic. And that was kind of contributing to not just him, but even in the USF game, Tyler Buckner, I forget the other guy's name too. They were struggling under a lot of pressure as well. So I do think he's going to continue to play better. If that's today, I really don't know. I wouldn't mind backing him in this little fantasy score area right here, but I don't know. A&M's coming off of probably the biggest performance of their season in a massive rivalry game. Not that Arkansas is anything special right now, but massive rivalry game. They embarrassed Arkansas. Their defense for first time all season really looked fantastic. And now they're at home. It all feels too easy. And to the point, I haven't seen a Bama ticket. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. You've seen A&M a lot of places. Plays President Pickett. Prize Picks does. We're not in a illegal state in Texas, so we're not able to link book plays because we obviously can't access those. And yeah, Oklahoma State. What the fuck was that game, dude? What was that game? That was weird. Will Howard was bad. Oklahoma State made their defense look like the Kansas State made Oklahoma State's defense like the steel curtain. That was weird. Yeah, this is honestly both this college slate today and honestly NFL tomorrow. This is one of the tougher slates on both sides. They're also like, this is I think the most bye weeks we've had so far this season. We're talking about college football, so it's a smaller slate of games. I think we're in the high 40s instead of the 60s like we were the past couple of weeks. So yeah, it's kind of a tough slate to cap. So I would the way that I always do it, I make plays in waves. So like I'll put in all my plays for the noon games. Obviously, there's stuff that I put in prior, like earlier in the week that I know I'm going to take anyway. But if we're taking plays in the noon games and we kind of evaluate, see how it goes, then move through slate to slate. That's how I do it, especially on a slate like this. This seems really tough to cap. Ace 4 loves Milroe, huge. And yes, I do like this under in the Bama game. I think the defense play. It was an Army today. I'm kind of thinking so, but I have no confidence in that game. There is. Especially with Thomas Castellanos, he is the biggest wild card in the world for Boston College. Because, like, you have Army's defense, which is obviously nothing special. Not the Boston College either. But they're going to give him looks to throw the ball deep against a semi-decent secondary. It's just a question of if he can convert those or not. And now he's doing it without most likely his best target or favorite target, who got hurt last week. That was kind of brutal to watch. But well, I have no clue. I really have no clue. It's Brady Cook yards lower on the books make you nervous? No, it's all of them have been climbing up. Like he opened like 15 yards hot or lower on both the books and on PP. So PP's just bumped a little higher, which is not really worrying me. LSU, I do lean them. I do think it's going to be offense, though. Favorite prop is definitely Brady Cook. 100% Brady Cook. I wouldn't say slate is mid. I wouldn't say that. I think it's a pretty good slate. It's going to be an awesome slate. It's just tough to bet on. Does LeQuint get in the end zone today? I do think so. I'd rather back his yards, though. Some would say Wallner. Matt Wallner. Washington State, UCLA. Yeah, the reason that you put down here for Ohio State is exactly why I like Ohio State. Maryland has been fantastic. They've been putting up points. And Kyle McCord has been pretty underwhelming outside of, a game against Western Kentucky. And if this was directly coming off the Notre Dame game, I wouldn't be quick to back them, but they just had a bye week. So it does seem like a lot of points, which is exactly why I want to take it. This is the FD boost, huh? Tell me this is true. Tell me this is true. Tell me this is true. I need confirmation on this. I need confirmation on this right now because this is getting me excited. This is getting me so excited. I think Georgia still rolls, but you guys know how I feel about these other two games. Confirmed. Let's go. Let's go. Because who's going to be in conversation to lose this. You know who's going to be in conversation to lose this. And yeah, the Maryland line keeps dropping because Ohio State has guys rolled out. But yeah, not the FD boost. No, I see more confirmed. Guess I'm going to have to go look for myself. Yeah, people are saying it is the FD boost. Maybe no chance for fake banging this. Oh, there it is. I see it. Colorado, Georgia, and Mississippi each to win. I do trust you, Estamika. Yeah, I trust you. I trust you all day. Yeah, for Jay Thorpe, don't fake bang, man. Jay Thorpe is not fake bang. So this is electric. This is massive. Especially considering the squad ride. Because I do legitimately think that Ole Miss is in trouble in this game. Not just to cover the nearly 2 touchdowns, but I think they almost lose this game. I think it's going to be a one-possession game with Arkansas. So Georgia being on there is obviously not my favorite, but Colorado, I think Arizona State is in plenty of chance to win that game, and I think the same about Arkansas. Scatabo cooking, but it's a KJ Jefferson day. Yeah, Scatabo will for sure cook. I'd like to think it's KJ Jefferson day. I do more so KJ Jefferson, let's be very clear here. He has been underwhelming to say the least. And yeah, Big Rob. It's the Hogs, brother. It's the Hogs. But KJ Jefferson has been underwhelming to say the least. I don't know if it's because he's got that lingering injury, but the offense hasn't clicked. And especially now they're coming off of a week against Texas A&M where they looked not just bad, not just underwhelming, they got embarrassed in that game. That was, again, I was tapped into the Arkansas Twitter because I was looking to see injury updates for this man right here, which he didn't look all that healthy last week either, but according to them, he's back and he's healthy. And honestly, he was a couple inches from breaking a couple massive runs in that game too. I think he does that. So, if I had to pick somebody, I know you're taking a solid risk with him coming back from injury here, but after having a game under his belt, I think Raheem Sanders is going to get after him today. I think he's going to get after him. I think, again, if Ole Miss, I think KJ Jefferson will be fine too. He'll make his mistake or two, but if you look at, I don't know why this won't go up. If you look at what he's done against a lot of these teams, like A&M, which I don't think is all that good defensively, but they had a really good game. That's where he struggled. LSU, which I would say is a very comparable, if not slightly better defense as of right now to Ole Miss. That's when he showed out. BYU, also a fraudulently good defense, but not really all that good because they play a lot of man coverage and that hurts them. Showed out in that game. So I think he's going to have a pretty solid performance. I think this is a game you're going to see an over. You're going to see points. This is going to be something that's not as aggressive as LSU Ole Miss last week, but a similar game script. So I do think they're going to be good. And yeah, I don't like the Arkansas OC, but I'm hoping that doesn't matter today because this LSU defense and LSU secondary especially is bad. But yeah, Raheem Sanders is fully healthy, which I'm anticipating he is, and I think he's going to be a little more explosive against a really bad run defense as well. It's going to be his game. And I'm excited to see it. Tez Walker debut legacy game. Yeah, I'm hoping. Rooting for that kid. That'll be awesome. And I'm absolutely not nuking Washington State. Absolutely not. Let's talk about that game over here. Why don't we? Let's go down to UCLA. Head down to Pasadena. This is another one of the more suspicious lines on the slates. I will say this because I am 100%. I am team UCLA is super fraudulent. I hate that we have this conversation about how good they are every year, and they start the year off ranked in near the bottom of the top 25. And yes. Cow down, weird, super weird. This also good movement as well. So I love Washington State. I do think that Cam Ward right now is playing at the same level as a Michael Penix, same level as a Bo Nix, same level as a Caleb Williams. So he should be in that discussion. In UCLA, super fraudulent. I don't know why we have this conversation every year, like I was saying, but in this spot, the line reeks, and the matchup also reeks of a Carson Steele masterclass. This Washington State defense is not all that good, especially against the run. And if you're talking about the most important part of beating Washington State, it's going to be keeping them off the field and eliminating the mistakes by Dante Moore because I do think he has some promise. He's a freshman. He's still learning the ropes of that offense. He hasn't had much experience yet. Carson Steele is going to have a really good game. And if you can keep the Washington State offense off of the field, that's why I don't think this total has been creeping up anymore. It's actually creeped down since it opened, which is interesting. I can't get myself to back Washington State. I'll tell you that much. I'm going to have UCLA coin deployed. Hoping we see a 3. I'm going to wait and see if I can lock that in, but it will be interesting. It does seem kind of obvious. I don't disagree. Oh, there he is. He's coming back around to UCLA. There we go. To be honest with you, I would be out. I would be out on it if the total hadn't moved down a couple points like it did. That's kind of coinciding with everything for me. It's coinciding with everything. So I will be back in Carson Steele 100% this week. And his line, I believe, is like 75.5. Pull it up here. Because he's going to be the key. And they've been in a couple of these games where they can't really afford 72.5. Can't really afford to just give him the rock, 20 times, especially like last week. Didn't mean to click on that. Last week against Utah. I mean, that's a really good run defense. So they really couldn't do much of anything. But against these teams like I don't want to say an NC Central or a Coastal Carolina necessarily, because you're not going to see that same level of defense, but at least like a San Diego State, I think you're going to see a game more comparable to that. I do think he gets in the end zone a time or two as well, so the fantasy score is not a bad option either, which that specifically has been bumped up a time or two. So I'm in on Carson Steele today. I'm 100% in. 100% in. Oregon State defense, any good? Yes. Very, very, very good, which is what makes the move towards Cal make even less sense because, like I said, there is no world where Cal should be able to move the ball in the run game against Oregon State, which is kind of, in theory, shuts down their whole offensive strategy. Because as much as I love Sam Jackson, he's electric, there hasn't been enough consistency there with him playing for me to trust them in a game where, they're going to have to air it out, which the secondary is decent too. It's not great. That's how you're going to have to attack them. So, as much as I love Jay Knott, I don't think he's going to have a great game today. It's going to have to be Sam Jackson. It's going to have to be. So I wouldn't mind backing him, which hopefully it is him. If it's Ben Finley, I'm going to shit myself. But it's Sam Jackson has a good day. That could be interesting. And yeah, good call on Fedone. If I take Raheem or Steele, I like Raheem's ceiling more. I would say I don't want to say safer, like it's a guaranteed lock or anything. I don't use those words, but Carson Steele has a safer floor because Raheem Sanders is coming off of the injury situation. I do think if Raheem Sanders is fully healthy, which I'm anticipating that he is, but again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not the head coach knowing how many carries he's going to get. I think he can go off for 100+ in that game. Carson Steele, I feel like the floor. There, and that he has a pretty good matchup, and he's going to get the rock 15 to 20 times, I believe. It's safer floor there, I would say. But the ceiling play for me is Raheem Sanders. So Raheem's my favorite, but take the risk as you will. W sub bangs. You got sub bangs. Let's go. Yeah, I've been seeing that stat float around for a little bit. It's a much different Wyoming team, though. And yeah, I can see the stat line. Absolutely. 2 TDs for, I guess it's not loading. 2 TDs, 140 for Steele, 100%. Like this 2-piece, 2J Nasty, 100%. Did not at 71.5. Yeah, I mean, he's also kind of coming off of a little bit of an injury, but he's had some tough matchups. It's this week's going to be even tougher. Yep, good little 2-piece there as well. Which prop? I took his rushing yards. I think he's going to be explosive. I think he's going to break a really fat run early in the game. But again, that's a risk that I'm willing to take because I know he hasn't been as explosive coming back, or he wasn't last week. I'm hoping that he is this week. So again, take the risk, know the risk going into it. I'm willing to lay it there with him. Thoughts on the over? I don't like the over, but I don't know. TJ Harden, another slept on guy as well. Absolutely. James Lucas. Miss State Lane, 3 TVs against anybody, against Western Michigan. I feel like it's kind of fair. Andrew Anthony legacy game. Yeah, and he does split identical time with Carson. I feel like this is a much better Carson Steele matchup, though. Which is why I'm willing to lay it with him today. But I do think they're both going to have a pretty good day. Would I play Raheem on the book? Absolutely. I played it everywhere. We got it in the 5 guys entry as well. So we'll be pretty tapped into that. Yeah, little spread here, or little splits. We love that. Ohio State over, not really. It's kind of tough to see. Kind of tough to figure it out with the situation with no Travion. That'll be interesting. I don't think it'll be that much of a drop off, but it's definitely not inspiring any more confidence. Not any more confidence. But yeah, let's breeze through a couple of these plays very, very quickly because I know people are asking for book plays. Duvar, obviously Oklahoma. Talked about that enough. This game is a little hard to figure out. I'm still going to lay Ohio State in a couple of seconds here just because that was my blowout pick and I kind of have to, but I still like the spot no matter what. It's just going to be a little different of a look. I think it's going to be a little bit on Kyle McCord's back. So, I mean, with no Travion, I wouldn't mind taking a stab at a Kyle McCord if you'd want to do that. Some of his props or his prize pick squares. LSU, Missouri. I do still think LSU wins this game. This feels like one of the more public dogs of the week. Even maybe a little more so than Washington State. A lot of people are taking Missouri at home with the points, and trust me, I love Brady Cook in this matchup. I love everything they're going to do offensively, but for as good as Mizzou's defense is and them being at home here, that 5.5 line feels awfully fat. So I'm definitely going nowhere near fading Jaden Daniels and the boys this week, at least on offense. But I will certainly take a stab at Brady Cook against that defense. I don't think that's going to change. I think they're going to get torched in that secondary no matter what happens. But yeah, that line it's weird. The fact that it hasn't come down, I think that it hasn't crossed even 4 at this point is pretty telling what to expect there. Marshall, NC State, I took that first half under at 22.5. I believe somebody said that it's down to 21.5, which I love. I think it's just like a 10-7 game first half. Marshall is going to be trying to establish the run game. Not find too much success in my opinion early in the game. Really good NC State front 7. This is the first real road test for Marshall. They went on the road against ECU, which not the easiest place to play, but that team sucks this year. So I don't really value that much at all. So I think they're going to have a little bit of trouble coming out of the gates here and then maybe settle in the second half. But I don't love them to win this game. I don't love them to win this game. Why is Henderson? I don't know. Burden to Neighbors. Yeah, that's going to be a heavyweight fight there. I like Boston College chances today. Season win total over. Yeah, we do probably need some W's. So I don't know if I feel great about this game. It's just there's so many variable things in this game. I still feel confident because they have outside of this game a pretty mid schedule, and a couple of those games are at home. So I do think they're going to pull, a Florida State like game, but actually win it because they're not playing a Florida State level team at home towards the end of the season. But yeah, I would love to see them get a win. They do definitely need it. What's 65 with a 6-point spread? You can get them absolutely. Mind breaking down AZ State. Feel like the defense is bad, but don't mind much about them. Yeah, so Arizona State. You can talk about that game for a second. Defense isn't horrendous. Not horrendous. And that total moving down is interesting. And I know DeGen pointed out that under, which was at 60, now it's at 58.5. Kind of around where it opened. The defense isn't terrible. Just they're very injured at every level. I didn't see this. Huge. Not rooting for injury, of course, but huge for Brady Cook's matchup there. But yeah, Arizona State's defense is not terrible. They're just very hurt at a lot of different levels of the team, including like a lot of it's offensively. So you're going to see backup quarterback Trent. I don't know how to say his last name. Trent Bourque. He's been great. Scatabo's kind of stepped into. It's like that. Their defense is fine. I don't think they're going to necessarily shut down Colorado. But I do think they're going to be decent against them. The most important thing here is Colorado's one of the worst rush defenses in the nation. Scadabo's been great. That rush attack has been great. So I think they're going to be milking a lot of clock and keep Colorado off the field for a little bit. So I lean Arizona State in that game, obviously, and that under with DeGen, who pointed that out, because I think the run game is going to be great for Arizona State. And I like Trenton as well. I think they're going to do enough to keep Colorado's offense off of the field and kind of limit explosive plays. I think if they kind of bracket them, they're going to play like super deep cloud coverage and try and avoid explosive plays from Colorado just so they can establish the run game on their side of the ball and kind of chew clock there and keep everything in front of them on the defensive side. So Arizona State has a pretty good matchup. Again, this is not just Colorado hating. I think it's a pretty good matchup for them, especially at home. So I wouldn't mind taking a stab at the Sun Devils. Would not mind that. Huge for the Nuke by prayers. ASU offense step down from Oregon and USC. 100% of this. 100% of this. 100%. But this is also a much different situation. Much different situation. Yeah, Scadabo, stud. Absolute stud. Stud. I love him. He was giving me hell last week against Cal, which Cal, that's a really good run defense that he tore up for a majority of that game. So, I mean, against Colorado, good luck to their defense stopping him. So he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. Yeah, he gets no love because, I mean, partially because he's just kind of stepped into the role. So it's kind of a new thing for him. He hasn't been, the number one guy getting all those touches all season, and you got a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. So it's kind of tough there, but he's doing the damn thing. Doing the damn thing. 1 year extra sprinkle more. I mean, I have 1 U on the spread, then another unit on the ML. It's just kind of a mandatory play. Mandatory play. Hopefully we're not pissed. Let's move back to some of these games. Get some structure so we're not just bullshitting up here 24/7, even though it's kind of what we're here to do. Talked about UCLA a bit. Talked about Bama a bit. Saw a lot of people mention Q's. I don't hate Q's in that game. I don't hate them at all. I have no desire to get involved with this game. I think it's very variable for me. What you're going to see out of that Syracuse defense against a really good UNC passing attack, especially with, I believe, Tez Walker is going to be playing this week. Somebody said that in chat. Haven't heard otherwise, but yeah, I would lean them in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a one-possession game, but no play for me there. Somebody's talking about FSU earlier and Virginia Tech. I would consider maybe buying up to that 24 if you want Virginia Tech, something in that game. Clemson, I think Cade Klubnik actually has a really good game, destroys Wake in this game, just like they do pretty much every time in the series. I hate Cade Klubnik. I hate that offense, but good Lord, it's looking like pretty poor for that Wake Forest defense this week. Didn't know of him until he played OK State. Yep. Georgia, Kentucky total 47.5. If you're expecting a blowout, my one concern is Georgia putting up a lot of points. That's my one concern there because I don't know if Kentucky's going to score. I'll be honest with you. I think a touchdown feels like, not literally, but like touchdown feels like a reasonable ceiling for them at some point. Like Georgia defense, again, not the same dominant unit we've seen, but they're going to be dominant in the run game, which Ray Davis, what he did against Florida last week was incredible. He ain't doing that against Georgia. So like I like Devin Leary as well, but I don't trust them to consistently move the ball against Georgia, which is a reason that we like Georgia. So I would be worried. I would be worried about, Georgia putting up 35 in this game if we're taking the under. But it's also a possibility. Also my possibility. Oklahoma Natty. I didn't punch that in. I have Dylan Gabriel Heisman, which is essentially Oklahoma to make the playoff, which doesn't have to be coinciding there. But that was my sprinkle play. But if they do win this game, I'll join you. UCF Kansas. Okay. UCF Kansas is interesting because now we have John Reese Plumlee back for UCF, which is a massive question mark. Massive question mark. Get to the game. Massive question mark. So we've seen kind of the move for that reason. You got Jason Bean still starting for Kansas because Jalen Daniels is still out. So it's tough to kind of figure out what to do with this game because John Reese Plumlee, if he's not fully healthy, that's a problem. And he's a guy who he needs to use his legs. He needs to use his legs to be effective in this game, really to be effective, period. That's a massive part of his game. and a quarterback of that offense. But if he's not fully healthy, I don't know what to do. But in the same realm, I don't know if they'll be putting him out there if he wasn't fully healthy, because Timmy McClain is good enough to dice through this Kansas defense, I would think, as well. So I doubt that it's a lack of trust in Timmy McClain. They're putting them out there. So Plumlee, in theory, this should be a fantastic matchup for him. And same on the other side for, Jason Bean in that offense looked iffy. I know it was a weird situation last week because he had Jalen Daniels get ruled out pretty late, according to the public at the very least. Get ruled out pretty late, last-minute decision against a really tough Texas defense, on paper at least. Not the same UCF defense here. So I know we took or a lot of people took the Kansas Texas over last week. I don't think it would be a terrible spot to go back to in this game. But with that being said, it does feel like one of the more obvious plays on the board, even with the quarterback situation. So take with it what you will. I definitely lean points there. It's hard to back aside, seeing it flip because of John Reese Plumlee. But that's kind of how I look at that game. Carson Beckyard's boosting on PP. Yep, I think it's going to be a ground and pound attack from them. Because realistically, I mean, Carson Beck, if this is a close game, he's going over his yards. The fact that that's boosted, I feel better about that. What else do we have here that we haven't gone over a little bit? Talk about Florida. I'm going to lay Florida. Lay the 18 there, which, again, Meemaw scares me in this game. But Vanderbilt, this is a sneakily good Florida passing attack, which is crazy to say with Graham Mertz and what we saw at the beginning of the season a couple of times, but sneakily good. If you look at their advanced metrics, they're in the top quarter of college football on a lot of different things, even top 25 for a lot of different things. So I'm not a big Florida guy, but in this matchup against Vanderbilt, I think Graham Mertz can have a lot of success. I wouldn't mind backing him in a couple of his squares as well. So I do like Florida on that offense to put up a good amount of points. If we were in dog piss, anything you like for the late games, yeah, you know I'm laying Cal. I'm laying Cal, man. That's the late play. USF, love USF's offense. They're so good. It's just as square as it is. It feels like another super square over. This UAB team can put up points. And somebody mentioned that they put up 3 touchdowns almost against Georgia. That's a good defense that they did on. And against USF, who is coming off of their first road win in 4 or 5 years, last week against Navy. Could be a letdown spot. See if they get 2 in a row. It's the best team they've had in a while. I love this offense and Byron Brown. He is fantastic. I think he's going to dice that UAB defense, but I think UAB can do the same, especially at home. Feels like a semi-sleepy spot for USF coming off that Navy win. So I'd be fine to back points there. Talked about these games, of course. Notre Dame, I really don't know what to do with that game. I do think that Notre Dame, Young Q's in on Cal. Huge. Howitzers, I'm playing the spread. I'm invested on the Cal win total, so that would be enough of a win for the ML for me. And Danny, we'll get to TCU in a second here. But this Notre Dame game is interesting because I just don't know how I want to play it or if I want to really play it. Because I do think this is a Louisville defense that is going to struggle. This is the first time really I could say Notre Dame doesn't have to dominate with Estime to kind of be in control of this game because this Louisville secondary is so bad. So this very well seems like the Sam Hartman game where he's going to have to air out the ball against his team. Not have to in the sense that Estime is not going to get his against this defensive front seven. But the secondary is where you really want to beat Louisville. And I do think, too, Louisville's going to be able to trade punches with Notre Dame for a little bit. Notre Dame's secondary is really good. They're coming off of a couple weeks here where they've been putting up work. They've been carrying this team. As poor as their offense has looked the last couple of weeks here, which, I mean, granted, against really good defenses in Ohio State and Duke, but they've had to carry the load. So I do think that Louisville is as well as I expect Jack Plummer to play over the course of the season in this system, this could be a pretty decent spot for him as long as they stay away from Ben Morrison. I think they're going to put up a good share of points. So I don't mind the over. I don't love that it's ticked down a little bit, but I do think Sam Hartman has a pretty solid game today. And yeah, Young Q is trying to figure out the angle. Me too. I don't know if I love NDML as a late piece. I think this is going to be a game they win by a touchdown or they lose outright, which obviously I think they win by a touchdown more than they lose any outright. But I don't know if there's any in between today. We'll see. Last week, I kind of felt the exact opposite with the Duke game. But, I mean, they covered anyway. So we'll see. We'll see. NDTTO, not a bad play at all. And Ben Morrison is a dog. Dylan Gabriel, half a yard. That's huge. Not really. I guess it's, half a yard doesn't really matter. Yeah, TTO is not a bad play there. Not a bad play at all. I wouldn't mind going to that. No huge thoughts on this game. I don't think Minnesota scores. It's not a hot take to say their offense is so bad. You guys know where I stand on this one, man. Arkansas, this is like a perfect spot for them. Like, coming off of the most embarrassing offensive performance in the Sam Pittman era, they're calling it, in a big rivalry game. Now they're going to play Ole Miss, who just won their Super Bowl, stormed the field against LSU, one of the bigger wins they've had in a couple years at home, which was huge. This just feels like a sleepy spot. And Arkansas, as bad as they were offensively last week, and they have been in some spots with KJ Jefferson, when they've played shit defenses, they've been all right. Like, and this is probably, I would argue, the worst defense in the SEC they're going to face this season. So this is a good matchup for them. I think they have a certain shot to win this game. And I do honestly have a little bit of a sprinkle. It's a little sprinkle. Little quarter unit guys are on the first half ML. I think they blitz them in this game early. And if anything, Ole Miss is going to have to claw back in this game. So, yeah, if we're talking about somebody else nobody wants, it's the Hogs this week. So we're riding. Not sprinkling full game ML, but first half ML. And then maybe I'll double up if we see something in game. Pega, what's good, my man? W's. And we can talk about a parlay piece. We can talk about a parlay piece in a second. Time we got here, 9:50. We got time. So yeah, on the Hogs. I think we see points there as well. I do like Miami in this game too. Sneakily, I'm not going to lay it, but I just don't see a world where Miami doesn't find success in the passing game. We've seen kind of Georgia Tech have holes in that aspect for a couple of weeks now. So I do think, like guys that we have in the cheat sheet, which I don't know if I can pull it up, but I'll at least pull up Prize Picks to show you guys. There's a lot of avenues you can go with this game. The one obvious risk that you're taking is this is a 3-touchdown spread. So we're talking about passing game. Definitely have a safer floor taking a rushing prop in this. But I'm going to go for it because I do think Tyler Van Dyke and this offense in the passing game is going to be how they get up in this game. Love Jacoby George in this matchup. I think him and Xavier Restrepo both have really, really big games. It's hard to trust Restrepo, though, because not that he hasn't put up the numbers, but in a situation late, I kind of want my coin on Jacoby George. If we're talking about backdooring with an already big lead, that's kind of been where he's found a little bit more success. So Jacoby George is my guy if we're talking about the Miami attack. On the other side, too, Georgia Tech cannot run the ball. They're going to be forced into consistent passing situations. So that's a tough place to be against a really good Miami run defense, really solid secondary as well. I can't trust Georgia Tech in this game. Ready for Jameer Nelson Jr. I love that. Love that. Slow starts, if you guys life. I like Georgia minus the points in that game. If you want to take Kentucky, I don't think taking the first half maybe is a bad idea if you want to do that. Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know what to do. Yeah, and if that boost comes down to Colorado, so that is – or wait. No, because it's Colorado plays midday. Right? Am I tripping? I feel like it's an afternoon. I don't know, 5:30. 5:30. Well, so the latest game would be Arkansas now. Right? Yeah. I guess you won't really know because it's an hour before. But, yeah, I mean, Ole Miss could be the last leg, which would be huge. Entire segment that I haven't covered all year. I bet. I absolutely bet. Any plays in Washington State, UCLA? I'm on UCLA. I'm going to wait for 3, see if we get there. But if not, I'm going to buy it back to it. What's the boost? It's right here. Josh Mitty. Colorado, Georgia, Mississippi State. I think Georgia's winning. I think they're covering. So it's really going to come down to these two, which I already like the dogs in these games, regardless of the boost. But seeing that is making things all that more interesting. But yeah, Colorado's not playing super, super late in the night, which is different. So we'll see. If they come out and look good, I will not be feeling great about Arizona State, obviously, but I would love for the last leg of this to be Mississippi or Ole Miss. That would be, I'd nut, dude. I'd nut so hard. That would be great. But yeah, let's go back for a second and wrap up these games. Then we can talk some lays. I don't know. I've seen the Fresno State stat that they've been killing Wyoming the last couple games more times than I really care to see. So, I mean, Wyoming leading for me there, obviously. Boise State's a sneaky one that I like. Sneaky favorite in the late night as well. I have this front and center on the cheat sheet. I love Ashton Janty, and I don't think he's on Prize Picks today. I was looking for him all last week, tried to get him up there. Could not do it. He's not there. They haven't put him up, but they're going to dominate. Absolutely dominates San Jose State in the run game. It's going to get ugly for them. So I love Boise State minus 9.5. You're looking for a late night piece. And yeah, NC State, MJ Morris, no Armstrong. QB change there. It's a lot of unknown there. If you're talking about UCLA howitzers, I would keep it at the 3. I don't know. So now I kind of want Colorado to win. Not exactly. It's just if it does happen, I'd be okay with it. Like Cal to cover tonight. Alt at the 10 to be safe. I mean, 7.5 to 10 is a fat jump. So I don't know about that. Sorry, Iowa State money line. Well, I'll tell you what. I sent a text to Big Dave, and I told him before. Or not even before, but while the TCU game was going on last week, I told him I guarantee I'm going to be on Iowa State money line. There's no chance that Chandler Morris goes into Iowa State, aims in a night game, and wins this game. But then I see TCU 5.5 up to 6.5. It makes no sense. Like, I do think that Chandler Morris is going to have a solid game against that defense because it's kind of a perfect matchup for the offense to have a little bit of success in the pass game a little bit, even in the run game too. 3-5 for Iowa State, which is decent against the run. I wouldn't say stout this season. Amani Bailey has been fantastic. So there's going to be a lot of ground and pound. Maybe Chandler Morris doesn't have to do all that much and force a lot of things, but that 6.5 looks telling, dude. That looks telling. This reminds me of the Houston game, which I thought TCU was in business to lose as well. But the Houston game on the road, coming off of a couple anemic performances, they're laying 6.5 on the road there. This seems awfully similar. So I can't get myself to back Iowa State as much as I want to do it. I don't bet with my heart. I bet with my head. And my head certainly tells me that TCU is the play. My heart tells me Iowa State is free money. So I will not be touching this game. Not in the slightest. So yeah. Wait, what was the comments up here? Syracuse. I do like Syracuse. Don't love, though. Don't love. I won't be playing it myself. Navy Day against North Texas. Absolutely. Field goal game. Could be. We'll see. Hey, never mind, you're all. That's a tough game, dude. Like there's no reason in hell TCU should be laying 6.5 points in this game, which is why I can't get myself to fade them. I can't do it. I can't do it at all. It's Marvin Harrison Jr. today. That could be a square angle that I could get behind. 100%. What was Soupy's comment? I missed that. Favorite 3 plays. Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. Definitely the Hogs. OU is kind of mandatory. I don't know if it's one of my favorite couple on the slate, but it's just that's a spot that I've been advocating for and looking forward to for the entire season pretty much. So got to say that. Purdue, Iowa, yeah, that game sucks. You guys can have fun betting that game. I will not be touching that game in the slightest. But yeah, Purdue's probably play there. Really hate this because like I'm all in on fading Baylor's defense and I'm all in on backing like Taj Brooks and Baron Morton too. Talk about the secondary as well. Texas Tech is one of the more suspicious lines, more public plays, I guess you could say as well. Only a point on the road here, 1.5 on the road. So I definitely won't be playing Baylor. This is not a spot where I'm going to get contrarian and take Baylor, but I will be laying off Texas Tech. I'll be sticking to the Prize Picks board on this one. But for the people who do want to get involved, I understand it because this Baylor defense is terrible. Texas Tech has an advantage in every which way. But at the same time, they did take advantage of a Houston team that I think is a lot worse than people have come to realize last week, even against TCU. Going back to that, I think same situation there. So Texas Tech, on paper, they should roll. This line looks awfully short, so I'm good. I'm just going to fade the rush defense with a little Taj Brooks action. That's all me then. Am I on Wisconsin just then? I'm not on Wisconsin personally, but I don't mind the look at the slightest. Don't mind the look at the slightest. So yeah, Texas Tech would be the play there. I hate that it's a play that I've seen in John Ewing tweets 700 times. Cal, this line coming back to 7.5 is fucking crazy. Crazy. Even at home, dude. Like, I don't know. They're going to upset one of these ranked teams at home, which, I mean, we took, obviously, Washington. Took them against Washington. We had a late QB change. Kind of got screwed by that. That game was on the road, so much different scenario against a much better team. This Cal defense is good. It's comparable to Oregon State. I'm not going to say it's as good, nearly as good, but to be honest with you, going up against Washington on the road, they cover that game if they don't give up a defensive touchdown, a special teams touchdown, and a field goal, 17 points, all before Washington touches the field. It's like now you're at home against, obviously, I mean, nowhere near the offense that Washington is. This could be sneaky. This could be a sneaky spot. And again, I had no intentions of coming into this game. Everybody knows how much I like Cal. No intentions of touching them coming into this game, but with a 2-point move down, that makes little to no sense. With Oregon State being kind of one of the more obvious plays on the board, it's interesting. If they take it outright, I will do some things. We'll do a secret. I'll spray. This is just between everybody in the chat right now, the real ones. We'll spray some PP coin to somebody next. Maybe we'll do it on BTL. Maybe we'll do it on the next live stream if Cal takes it outright. Best game on today. I mean, Red River is going to be amazing. I hate to say in early games you can't really look forward to it, but if you're watching a game, it's got to be the Red River rivalry today. It's going to be fantastic. Washington UCLA should be a great game too. Maybe a little more defense, so not as entertaining, but it's going to be a great game. Great game. Notebook. I don't know about a notebook. Too many. I don't want to be copying people's style there. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Brady Cook or Jaden Daniels fantasy. You've gotten surgical. I mean, Brady Cook's my guy today. I don't think you can go wrong with either of those guys, but Brady Cook is my guy. I would say yards for him, fantasy for Daniels, because you get rush yards in there for Jaden Daniels as well as the rushing touchdown aspect. But Brady Cook, I'll get yards there. Cook and a Scatabo and a two-piece. Let's ride. There we go. Let's go. Bankroll bets, my man. What's good? Points. I mean, yeah, this is going to be an electric game too. 100%. Thoughts on UAB? I'm not taking USF. That game feels, obviously it's flipped, but it feels pretty similar to what we saw last week, just with them favored against Navy. So I'm not going near them again on the road, but I do think we see points there. If I had to play in that game, it's going to be the over. It's going to be the over. W will. Arizona team total, absolutely. You laugh, not an LSU fan. Yeah, I mean, to be fair to LSU, they've played, I think, the toughest schedule to start the season out of any team. I mean, they've gone through a gauntlet. Not to say that a team that wouldn't win the SEC should be losing these games, losing a couple of these games, but it's a tough schedule. So I give them credit. I still think they're good. Let's see what this is. OU upsetting Texas, Georgia winning but not covering, GG, and A&M biggest needs for sports books. I could have told you about OU. I could have told you that much. But yeah, that could be big. James Leon, what's up, my man? Thoughts on NC? Aline Hughes, not playing anything though. I believe Jatavion Sanders is playing. I haven't heard anything different. At the beginning of the week, they said he'd be good to go. If anybody has any extra info to prove that wrong, then feel free to let me know. That could be big. But yeah, I've heard he's playing. Mizzou, I like LSU in that game, but I just think there's going to be points, which, I mean, I'm taking Brady Cook because I think they're going to be down for parts in that game as well. So we'll see. Scatabo, yards for me. And yeah, hype for this Red River game. Thoughts on Kansas? I don't want to touch that game because there's too much stuff going on both sides of the quarterbacks. Jason Bean still starting because Jalen Daniels is out, and now John Reese Plumlee is coming back. So, like, I don't know if they would bring Plumlee back if he wasn't fully healthy, but there's always the question there, especially for a guy that, like, needs to use his legs. So I lean points there after I let down a couple of people, myself included, the Kansas game last week when we got to the quarterback change. So I think it's going to be points. Who we back in Arkansas? Raheem Sanders for me. Risky play, but I'm in. Do you like Dylan Gabriel and PP? Yep. Do I still like Marshall first half under? Yeah. When we talked about that, I already knew that. He was never starting. It was always MJ Morris. Kirk, Cook, and Brooks 3-piece. My God. That could be it. That could be it right there. And yeah, I'm on Carson Steele today. On Carson Steele. Can you have a square in the Red River game? Got to square up with, honestly, I mean, I'll put this in an entry by itself, stacking Dylan Gabriel and Andre Anthony, but Andre Anthony is probably my square there. If Texas loses, can they still make the playoffs? Yeah. They can, just because they're Texas. Like, I mean, to be honest, they're head and shoulders still better than anybody not named Oklahoma in the Big 12, I would say. So if they run through the rest of the Big 12 schedule and then beat Oklahoma in a rematch in the Big 12 championship, they absolutely can make the playoff. Absolutely can make the playoff. Favorite play today is Arkansas. And I'll look at the PP promo for NFL in a bit. Go through favorite prize picks plays, because I know people have been asking for that as well. Obviously, Brady's up there. He's getting hit 100%. Love that. Hopefully, you don't start the day off with piss. Oklahoma games, like I said. Andrel is a pretty solid shout here. Been soaring over this. Really any game other than the Iowa State game. Dylan Gabriel, also a solid look. See if he's gotten bumped up at all. I believe that's where he's always been. But yeah, Dylan Gabriel, not a bad look either. There plenty of people asked about that one. Carson Steele as well. That's my guy in the UCLA game that I think is going to take advantage of it. Honestly, I haven't decided whether I'm going yards or fantasy. Probably need to figure that out. But, I'll go fantasy. So I do think he's going to get in the end zone. I do think they're going to have to utilize him just a little bit in the pass game to get Dante Moore a little comfortable in that game. So I'm interested to see if you guys like any of those there. But I like that. Kids kicking a field goal for 45K game day. That's electric. It's electric. And yeah, squad ride. Squad ride is Arkansas today. Squad ride is indeed Arkansas. B. John Robinson today, absolutely. I hate taking his props because it could be Algier, could be even Ritter with his legs, but worst graded run defense in the NFL. Houston Texans. Good luck. Cook up a 6-man. He missed it short. I bet, man. I bet he did. That's so tough. That's piss. That's kind of piss. Yeah, I like those gentlemen, of course. I'm taking too much of a stroll at the interceptions or a look at the interceptions. These are some interesting ones. Some of these, a couple of these are new. Got some interesting ones. I don't know if Sam Hartman's a terrible look, and don't pay attention to the charts here because they don't do those for interceptions. I don't think Sam Hartman's a terrible look just because I think he's going to be airing it out a little more this game than previous. So I don't think that's a bad look. Surgical 6, let me cook. Do we want to cook up a little entry? Do we want to cook it up? We can do that. And yeah, I hate the no data. It kind of pisses me off. Like we gotta be better. They only have it for some of them. Yes. Cook up an entry. Okay. Well, do we put Brady Cook in this entry? Because I already have nukes on him, man. Can we keep him out, or would that be soft? I already have so much coin deployed on Brady Cook. Not even just the one entry that I posted. Let Brady cook. Soft. All right. We'll put him in the entry. All right. We'll leave Brady cook. We'll take those out for now because I do want to kind of evaluate what we have here. You can look at the meat sheet too. I don't know why it won't let me zoom in. I tried to do this before we got on, but it looks super weird. I can't expand it either because it looks even weirder. But we'll see here. I really wish they had Navy stuff up. Obviously, we're taking Brady Cook here. Todd Brooks, we might take in some form or fashion. Scatabo as well. Sneaky guys down here. Logan Loya, Monterey Baldwin for UCLA and Baylor. I wouldn't mind taking them there. LaQuinn Allen, same thing. Who do we go with here? Who do we go with? Put in the chat who you're liking here that we talked about. Daniels Cook Congo is not bad. Not bad. Put into a new tab image itself. Kind of too late for that now. We'll do that next time. Jordan hit a nuke today, not tomorrow. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Wait, is it the Sunday game? That's the one that counts for the combo square? That's wild. Why? He's gonna hit 2 today. He's gonna hit 2 today just to piss him off. Rush TDs. They got odd up there. I don't like that. Don't like that. Let's see what they got. A lot of shit. There we go. If Sam Jackson on the board today, what the fuck? What the hell? See, that makes everything odd. That makes everything very, very odd. I don't know if you can put it much lower. I mean, it's already super low, and they don't throw the ball that much because running the ball is their MO. But shit, for him to have a red out chart against an Oregon State defense is weird. Is it not? Is it not? You redeemed auto tail for that square. It's not going to hit. Hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, this might be a late night chase piece on Sam Jackson. We'll see. If we want to back something, I think Jeremiah Hunter is a solid look no matter what. Really just only option in that offense. I hate to see that. But I'd take his yards. All right, back to Cook. Not literally, not Brady Cook. It's at 4 now? What the fuck? Where do you see that? No shot. What else do we have that we really liked? I wouldn't mind taking LaQuinn. Looking through a couple of squares that we talked about. Sosi 4.5. I mean, shit, that's fine too. A universal 4.5 school with me. Don't mind that. Total rising. Okay. Let's see. What are we talking about here? See, I feel like we should probably take something in the Oklahoma game. Should probably do it. LSU total dropping. That's weird. I think it'll get close no matter what. So, like, I'm not taking the over, but I'm taking squares in that game. Theoretically, it shouldn't even be that high in the first place with Mizzou, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. All right, let's lock in. That Drake Stoops square is pretty interesting. I'll say that. But I don't know if I can get myself away from Andrew Anthony, man. He's gonna have to do it. Andrew Anthony, I don't think is a bad look there. We'll take him out later if we need to. Why is Cook passing yards 272 in books? It's already gone up a lot, so that doesn't worry me in the slightest. It's the reason why prospects and book lines are not always the same. That's why sometimes they're lower, sometimes they're higher. If they're higher, it's probably telling you something. Like the Maryland over, not necessarily. It's kind of hard to read again with no Travion Henderson. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see that. I still think they blow them out, regardless. Backing Graham Mertz. That's what I was trying to figure out. There's one that I was forgetting to look at for a second, and that might be it. Because this is a risky one. It's a risky one. I'll say that, but I'm down to take a risk. It's risky because this is a fat spread, and while I love Graham Mertz's matchup today, there's no guarantee that he's throwing the ball pretty consistently, which is kind of the concern. That's a fair concern. I just don't know if I love the lines for him today. I'll be honest with you. Love the matchup. It's just kind of tough. I think it'll be tough for him to hit these lines. You are seeing 4 now. Interesting. And we'll circle around. I haven't labbed up MLB really, but we can go over first looks at the board, especially on PP in just a second here after we wrap all these up. Yes, all right. We're putting Scatabo in here. That's what we're doing for sure. There he goes. That is a high fantasy score. That is a massive fantasy score. Good Lord. I mean, I guess as much as he's using the passing game might be an asset here. I guess I said yards initially, but maybe against Colorado, you just umbrella it all. Maybe we just go fantasy. Maybe that's just the play there. Maybe it's just the play there. Tap in. Let's get it going there. Playing yards in the books. Yeah, if you're on the books, not a bad play there. Still think he gets 100. It's just that, I guess, with as much as he's using the passing game, it's not a bad idea. Take the fantasy on PP at the very least. Just at the very least. Just a small little play here. How back is Texas football? Looks like they're so back. What about Brooks? Yeah, we can play Tosh Brooks. Let's go back to him. I guess I could have just controlled F that, but Tosh. What are we playing with Tosh? This is one where I could be swayed either way. Because, like I said, too, I do think Baron Morton has a decent game as well. So, I mean, the volume could be there. Shipley is also a good one, too. I didn't talk about Shipley, but I do like his matchup. That could be one that I could be interested in. That could be another one. I don't want to go like full every running back in the country. So, I mean, we got to pick between a couple here. 3.5 on the – what the fuck? Minus 175 for Rush GD. They're all pretty juicy. So, like, minus 175, that's probably going to be most starting running backs in college football. It's not like NFL, even though NFL guys are getting there now, which is wild. It's not insane to see. I'm looking at some of these book prices for a couple of these running backs. I'm trying to see where Taj is at, see if he's moved at all. 105.5. It's kind of where he's been sitting. I don't know if I love Octonite, man. I think they're gonna have to use his leg or have to use the arm in this offense a lot. Especially, I mean, because Sam Jackson. I mean, that Oregon front seven is tough, dude. Tough. Oh, and somebody said, does the move towards Maryland worry me? Not really, because it's because of guys being out. So, not all that concerning for me personally. Still sticking to the guns there. Where's LeQuint at on PP? Where's LeQuint? I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Back in his rush yards. Scoop. I'm in. LeQuint Timothy. Look, we need to diversify a little bit, though. Probably need to diversify. We're pretty diversified, but we still need to diversify a little bit. This is new. Ooh. I know it's Colorado, but fuck. Good Lord. Bombing the board right now. Yeah, just be careful. Today, this is such a weird, difficult slate. Just know what you're getting yourself into. I mean, dude. They got DJ up for passing touchdowns. What's he been doing? What's he even doing? I feel like he lands on 1. Blake's shaping up for 1.5 is wild. That's a wild square right there. As bad as Texas Tech's defense has been, I mean, Blake Shapen is bad in his first game back against UCF, a comparable defense, I could say. Probably a little bit better of a defense, not by much. You got 1, and now we're putting this square up, dude. Where's the juice at? Minus 125 to the over. This could be the grossest thing I put in the century. This could be super, super gross. Oh, and what's the boost today? Hey, Woody, it's this. Colorado, Georgia, Ole Miss. So pay attention to who ends up winning that one. But this one is kind of catching my eye. I hate Blake Shapen. Not as a person, obviously, but as a quarterback, I do not think he is very, very good. But that square, I think there's going to be points in that game. It's not a secret. That's one of the more square overs of the week. Maybe it's Blake. Maybe it's Blake today. I do think they're going to put up points no matter how this game kind of shakes out. But I don't know. We could put Blake. I also like Monterey. So, I mean, let's see. Let's see if he's moved at all. I think that might have gone up a little bit, but it should after last week. I wouldn't mind taking a stab at Monterey Baldwin. Maybe that's a little less gross than Blake Shapen. Could that be it? That Blake Shapen square is so gross, though. It's so gross. Maybe I'll stack the two together. But this little random geyser, we'll ride with Blake. God, that square is so nasty. I despise backing Blake Shapen. Lord. What do we have? 5 in this random one? I'm not bombing the century, especially because it has Brady Cook in it, and I already have enough quantity of Brady Cook. But random little 6-piece. Just a random one. Let's do the touchdown squares. Does anybody have any touchdown squares, though? Oh, I guess I could put Raheem in here. So I do like Raheem. And I took his yards. We have his yards in the 5-guys entry, but I do think he gets in the end zone, too. I think there's going to be points in that game. So that's where I'll take Raheem. I'll take him to get in the end zone. How about that? No, I hate him just because he's not a good quarterback. He's not a good quarterback, but it's a really good matchup for him, which is the difference. So, yeah. They're definitely a Gabriel Lean for me. Gabriel Lean there for me, for sure. For sure. And yes, this will be absolutely electric. I might have to sprinkle now. I might cash out of the first half ML and then just wait and then tap into the full game ML. Now that it's a part of the boost, I might have to do that. Might have to. Line moving towards OU, first half. Don't hate that at all. Let's take on Boise. I like Boise a lot today. I think they dominate in the run game. So let me put in this entry really quick. Just a small sprinkle, just a unit, nothing more. Again, especially with Brady Cook in it. We're going Brady Cook over yards, Andrew Anthony over yards, Scatabo fantasy score. Why is it taking so long to load? Piss. Yeah, can't hurt to dabble, man. Can't hurt. Not at all. Like Ohio State still. I'm definitely not bombing it. Never really was to begin with, but yeah, there's a lot going on with some injuries in that game, which is not ideal, but against Maryland, it just might not matter. They're so fraudulent, dude. They do this every single season. Every season. They come in fat and happy against Ohio State, and they get rocked. Now Ohio State's coming off of a bye, so they're avoiding the letdown spot after the Notre Dame win. That was massive. Yeah. Why is it taking so long? Dude, pressing Blake Shapen hurts me, but I think that's a great square. Raheem got bumped up a yard too. Huge. All right. Little unit on the 6 guy. Nothing much, nothing major. You down to 4 on DK. Yes. Missed thoughts on Georgia and ND. I like Georgia. On the full game, I think they throttle Kentucky. Notre Dame, I'm not sure how to play that one, to be honest with you. I think your smartest play there is probably Notre Dame. I'm not playing it myself, but I think Sam Hartman has a really good game. And thoughts on the total, I lean over. I just hate that it's slightly ticked down, but I still lean the over. And yeah, that COV might not matter. Texas down to 4, moving big time. Let's go. Favorite two-man for today. Well, my favorite two-man for the weekend is the one that I posted with Brady Cook and Kirk Cousins. That's the one that I have little 5U guy on. Trent said on, yeah, if you got him a 5.5, got a deal for you. Got a deal for you. Reed in the Colorado game, Arizona State, love the run game. Think they dominate there like everybody does in the run game against Colorado. Total's really low too, which kind of coincides with that. It was at 60. It opened up, initially went up a point or so, and now it's back down to 58.5, which is, for a Colorado game, really, really low. So, yes, Arizona State's not USC or Oregon, obviously, but low total. Lean LSU here in this game. I think there's going to be points. Even if it doesn't go over, I think you get one that's very close, which is why we're on Brady Cook as part of it, but I like Jaden Daniels as well. But yeah, Mizzou seems a little easy. Jay Morg, what's up? I respect Wisconsin today. That's for sure. Plays all straight on the book, or just the cheat sheet guys in this entry. No, I mean, I like all these squares. I'm not just sitting up here bullshitting, but yeah, you can play them straight. Don't nuke them because, I mean, they're college props. If you're playing them straight on the book, probably a little half you guy on a couple of these that you like would be my best advice. And yes, I can show all the other props real quick. So you got Raheem, touchdown, Chapin, pass touchdown, LeQuint yards, Scatabo fantasy, Angelo Anthony yards, and Brady Cook. The little constant. If you're tailing that in other entries and don't want to be overexposed, feel free to swap that out for something else. But figured I'd let it ride. People wanted it in, so I put it in. So Xavier Worthy scoring, yeah, probably. Not taking that though, but probably. Love the Cook and Daniels combo. Think they show out regardless. Our man said, good luck, he's out. Hook him. Not hook him, but good luck, brother. Appreciate you stopping by. UCLA is so fraud, and I 100% agree. It takes me a lot for me to get down on them, and I am today. Still to play. I'm waiting for a 3. Waiting for a 3 there, hopefully. And yeah, I have a lot of Brady Cook exposure, so I'm hoping and praying he has a great day. But if he doesn't, I will be reallocating a lot of these squares into other entries for the afternoon and night slate games. So you can count on that. Feel good about Brady Cook, though. I hope they get this. Oregon State Cal late night. You know I like Cal. That line going down to 7.5 is crazy. And yeah, Dyson. Taj Brooks eats today. I know you're a Baron Morton hater too, rightfully so, but I think he has a solid game today too. But Taj Brooks, Himothy. Yeah. Every big Texas fan is nuking Texas today, which should be a great look. Repeat the 6 again, please. It's right up here. I guess I can zoom out a little bit. Brady Cook, Angelo Anthony, Scatabo, LeQuint, Chapin, and Raheem. If you want to tail a 6, that's like my favorite props. This is like a secondary one. My favorite ones for the weekend are all in the 5 guys entry that we posted on the BTL Twitter page. So that is what I would say are my favorites. This is kind of just a secondary only college football one, but yeah, Squad Red Arkansas, by the way. 5 guys entry is right here. Brady Cook, Raheem Sanders. Then we got the NFL, Danny Dimes, not throw picks, so gross. Kamara receiving, Kirk passing yards. So that's what we got there. What else do we have here? LSU back up to 6.5. Yeah, that's a lot of respect. Like that 4-piece too, Fletch. I'm not putting much on the 6 man. This is just a little sprinkle. It's a little 1U for me. I already have a good bit of exposure, especially on Brady Cook. So I don't want to overexpose myself there and save some units for the rest of the day and for tomorrow, of course, too. So no nukes. I always preach responsible gambling anyway. You know, nothing crazy. But yeah, I think we covered a good bit of college football today. I know some people wanted to take a look at the MLB board super, super quickly. And I guess we can do that super, super quickly. Go. I guess I should probably share DK. What are you guys' thoughts on these games in the first pod? What are we going at? Where are we going at, man? What are we liking today? You know how I feel about the Dodgers, man. Everybody feels this way about the Dodgers, I guess, but I think they come out and destroy. They come out and destroy. It's hard to say they don't. It's hard to say they don't. Yes, Matt Wallner. Cough, cough. Matt Wallner. Hopefully he does something today. The thing is, like, there's a lot of, I don't know, get cute plays. Not that they're bad, but like you talk about who everybody wants to take in these first couple of games. Like the Twins riding that momentum is huge. Everybody loves that. They're the new, fun, exciting team. The Phillies destroyed Strider last year. That was a huge thing. Now they're riding in as one of the hottest teams in baseball. So that's the get cute play here. The Dodgers is, I don't know, not the get cute play, but the play that everybody likes. Like, those are not all going to hit in all likelihood. You got to pick your spots. I love seeing this, though. I saw this earlier, which it's not like he's going to be any lower line-wise against the Dodgers, but seeing this square up with how well as he's pitched recently is awesome to see. Add into the fact, when you see these earned run squares up that are super red in the first spot, but they're super red, and you know that in the playoffs you're going to see guys with a little shorter of a leash, it's a lot of respect. It's a lot more respect than you see it in the regular season, like we've been targeting a lot of these all season. So that is interesting, and I'm not shocked that that Cam is on the Dodgers. Probably rightfully so. They're going to score today. They're going to score today off of Merrill Kelly. And as good as the D-backs bullpen has been, I don't trust them to sustain that level of success. I'll be real with you. It's not me just flat out hating, but I don't think they're going to be all that good in this series. I think they get exposed for what they were in the regular season, and I think Merrill Kelly gets hit up a little bit in this game. So I don't know what to do with Kershaw, to be honest with you, because he's going to be on a little bit shorter of a leash, and he's coming back from injury. So what to expect there, I don't really know. Which is why I don't love getting involved with this game specifically, unless it's to take a Dodgers team total. So that's a pretty smart play there by Cam. That's what I would go with as well. I might consider adding that too once we get to the late night. And the only series that I played, series price play that I had was the Dodgers -1.5 in the series. So for them to win 3-0, 3-1. That was for +120 I got. And I haven't looked to see if that moved anywhere now, which is probably something I should look at. Let's go to DK. Let's go to DK. Sure. Series handicap. Here we go. Here we go. $20, yeah, it's still sitting there. I think it's a solid price. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction price-wise from how good the D-backs were in the Brewers series, especially in the back end of their bullpen. So that's what I played on the book there. But yeah, I'm just backing the Dodgers. Cal down to 7, dude. Don't tell me that. I'm gonna nuke. You're gonna get me to put irresponsible units on Cal. That line is crazy, though. That line is crazy. But yeah, I really don't have all that much in the MLB board, partially just because I've been trying to get pretty locked into the college board, so you can do this stuff for you guys. But yeah, not too much there. You can take a quick stroll. Nothing looks like all that weird. I mean, there's a lot of goats, period, in these couple of series. You're not going to see things that are all that weird on the prize picks board, like the weird hits, runs, and RBI that we usually target. But it's a lot of goats. I mean, you're not going to see the same level of weird stuff. Maybe a total base, but I really don't see anything weird there either. Maybe a Geraldo Perdomo is pretty weird to be up, but yeah, I don't like anything in these first couple games. I'll be honest with you. If you want to back Matt Wallner Bonds, be the guest. I don't think Jeffers is a bad matchup either. So yeah, I don't even know if he's going to be playing. I don't know why he's up there in the first place. I guess I'm not taking him, but yeah, that's a strange board today. I don't really like anything except backing the Dodgers bats. We're talking about baseball, and I'll be locked into the CFB board. So that's kind of the type I'm on. It's the time I'm on, man. He said Evan Longoria short with hitting nukes. Dude, if Longo hits a nuke, tip the cap. I love him. Rays legend. It's not bad. I don't know if I love Carson Beck, but the other two I can certainly get behind there. Big nap. But yeah, I think you guys have a majority of the plays for today. Good luck on the bets. I was excited. This is cool. Didn't get to do it last night because I wanted to make sure I got in the lab, got some cheat sheet info out in the morning. So I thought we'd do it right before the stream, or right before the slate started. Thought it was pretty cool. Let me know which one you guys like. Let me know which one you guys like. Can do this right before the slate starts if you really want to. But if not, we'll continue doing these mostly on Fridays, night before the slate. Maybe have a guest or two on going forward. But appreciate you guys stopping by. I have a lot of units deployed too, Free Coin. It's going to be a scary little slate, scary little Sunday or scary little Saturday, I guess, going into Sunday. So let's take it easy. Not nuke the board. This is a tough board, one of the tougher ones we've had this season. So let's keep getting surgical. People like the Saturday morning milk. All right. Maybe not every week because it's a little early, and we're going to be traveling for some of this. But when I can, we'll certainly get to it. But again, appreciate you guys for stopping by. W stream, W streamers, W chat as well. Let's get some coin today, man. Go Hogs. Go everything that we talked about. Let's see Brady Cook legacies. Let's have a day, man. Let's have a day. And let's get in the lab like we were. Let's win some coin. Appreciate you guys.